Islamic Narratives of Paul, Sayf al-Tamimi, Part 1. This is Chapter 8 from the book Arab Christians and the Quran, from the origins of Islam to the medieval period. The name of the chapter is Early Islamic Perspectives of the Apostle Paul as a Narrative Framework for Tahrif by Michael F. Kuhn. Kuhn has lived about 28 years in the Middle East and served as an assistant professor of discipleship and biblical theology, and has a long association with the Arab Church. His area of research is on comparative theologies in Islam and Christianity and Christological formulations of Arab theologians in the Muslim context. Muslims through the generations have accused Christians and Jews of tahrif, corruption of their scriptures. The main culprit of this allegation of altering the original texts sent down by God became Paul the Apostle. Around 4 centuries after Muhammad's death, Ibn Hazm wrote, "Their rabbis, on whose authority they have adopted their religion, the Torah, as well as the books of the prophets, agreed to bribe Paul the Benjaminite, may God curse him, ordered him to profess outwardly the religion of Jesus and to deceive his followers and to induce them to follow the doctrine of his divinity." The Christian apostle emerges in much early Islamic thought as a villain. This video examines the role of the Islamic narrative of the Apostle Paul in the crystallization of the charge of tahrif. Over time, Paul came to be seen as the corrupter of the laws or practices of the true religion, the corrupter of the doctrine of Tawheed, and the corrupter of the preceding scriptures. Early Muslim apologists were content to argue that the Christians had misunderstood their scriptures, corrupting its meaning. This concept is normally described as tahrif al-ma'na, or corruption of meaning, which is different from changing the words of the Bible, tahrif al-lafz. This confidence was grounded in the view that the Quran was the same revelation given by Allah in the Arabic tongue, which had been given in earlier times to other peoples in their language. The various corruption narratives are grouped into 2 streams of Muslim Pauline tradition. One stream, Group A, presents Paul as a Jewish deceiver, a pseudo-convert to Christianity, whose sole intention is to deceive Christians and to corrupt their faith. A second stream, Group B, presents him as a genuine convert to Christianity, seeking Roman protection and revenge on the Jews by Rome, not merely defiling the Christian faith as in Group A. One can identify 3 objectives stated clearly in narratives. 1. Paul corrupted the laws of Islam. 2. Paul corrupted the doctrine of Tawheed, that is the unity of God, and fabricated doctrines of Trinity and Christ's divinity. This video is an overview of one such contributor to the Islamic narrative of Paul, Sayf ibn Umar al-Tamimi. Little is known of Sayf ibn Umar al-Tamimi. He was associated with southern Iraq and lived in Kufa. His Kitab al-Futuh wal-Ridda, Book of Conquest and Apostasy, was the primary source of the historian al-Tabari concerning the wars of apostasy and early conquests of Islam. The discussion of Paul falls in the context of the assassination of the Caliph Uthman, the 3rd rightly guided caliph. The story is related as a parallel account of Abdullah bin Saba, a Jewish son of a black mother, and for this reason he is referred to as Ibn as-Sauda, who converted to Islam only to sow discord and disunity amongst Muslims. Abdullah bin Saba was depicted as the instigator of the Sunni-Shia conflict, similar to Paul, who is portrayed as the instigator of sectarian conflict among Christians. Sayf's narration, then, presents a moral paradigm to the Muslim Ummah, exhorting Muslims to overcome the sectarianism which had so manifestly divided the Christian community.